Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode number 5? Episode number 6 of my Out of the Park Baseball 23 playthrough with the Oakland A's. As always, if you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the series here, please click that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. The back and forth with those of you who have left comments so far has been the best part of this for me. It's been a blast. And we are inching ever so close to 1,000 subs, up to 850 now, which is just awesome. So, yeah, if you like the video, click like, click subscribe, leave me a comment. If you hate the video, leave a comment, tell me why. We can banter. I love some good banter. At any rate, let's get to it. So the season's over. I almost, after we got through the All-Star break, or after we got through the trade deadline, there was some thought about potentially coming back and playing the last month live, but 22 and 29 are really kind of, or I guess 34 and 43 really kind of killed that that vibe over the last couple of months, that May and June vibe that we had going for us. So I just simmed through the end of the season, so we are done with Season 2. We will take a look at the stats here. We'll kind of look at where things stand, and then we will move on with our offseason. And it's an important offseason as we have 3 stud prospects that are ready for the majors, if not close to ready for the majors. Ryan Gleason will likely be on the big club next year. Joey Estes will likely be on the big club next year. And Robert, and I'm going to hang on a second. Somebody gave me the pronunciation. Let me find it here because I was saying it wrong. I want to make sure I get it right. Poisson. There we go. Robert Poisson is just about ready as well. So we have some important decisions to make, and we got a little bit of money, $18 million. I may dump a little bit into scouting and development to get that number to bump up to 20, maybe 20, 22 million, somewhere in there. We will see. But from a pitching perspective, a couple of really good performances. Reed Golemon, first and foremost. He was one of our draft picks a year ago, and he was absolutely lights out. He was our second-round pick last year and was an animal. 65 innings, 90 strikeouts, only 43 hits, a 2.21 ERA+. He's going to be a stud for years to come. Dalton Jeffries had a good year, 8-14, 4.33 ERA, 4.09 FIP. ERA+ was a little below average, but ultimately he was fine. Jesus Luzardo was much better over the last couple months of the year after getting him back from Miami. You can see June, July, August, he was quite good. He was 7-2 in the last 3 months of the year with a sub-4 ERA. Danny Jimenez was really good out of the bullpen. Adrian Martinez was really good out of the bullpen. JT Ginn, compared to last year, was down a little bit. But I think next year we move him into a just a normal kind of middle relief, used more often kind of role. I think he'll be fine there. Max Meyer, the other pitcher we picked up towards the trade deadline, 7-9 with a 4.51 with us, was fine. I mean, he's end of the rotation kind of guy, but that's where he'll be next year with Luzardo, Jeffries, Meyer, and then our 2 youngsters. Gunnar Hoagland. 5-9, 4.65. He was okay, so he'll battle for that number 5 spot. And then from there, it was varying levels of average or slightly below average players that are fungible, right? Players that are eminently replaceable. So that is our pitching staff. Lineup, we need some help here. I want to say we're top heavy, but we're top heavy. And even our top heavy isn't all that good. Sean Murphy had an outstanding season for us. 4.5 WAR, 26 home runs, 73 knocked in, 815 OPS, 126 OPS plus. Couldn't have asked for more. Taylor Trammell was hurt, but really outperformed, I think, what I would have anticipated. I mean, it's back-to-back years where, last year he was slightly below average, but 15 home runs, only 38 knocked in, but put up a 465 slugging, just under 800 OPS. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, if you can give me 3.2 WAR every year, I'll take it. I don't suspect that's going to be what happens, but I'll take it. Pache, I don't want to say he had a breakout season at 243, but his OPS plus slightly below average at 99. Good for 3 WAR, up to 3.5 stars now, still elite defensively. Kind of Falefa was a revelation, and it's a revelation, unfortunately, that I don't think we're going to be able to afford next year. Excuse me, I had to get some water. 8 home runs, but 64 runs knocked in, 42 doubles, 303, 334, 428. Played great defense. He was awesome. Nick Gordon was actually pretty good as well. He was thrust into full-time play with the injury to Nick Allen and only had 241, 286, but played really good defense, was a +4 player. And then from there, it was, again, varying levels of suck. We brought in Willie Calhoun. He didn't play much. He's 2-star, whatever. Andrew Vaughn did not hit well. 230, 307, 387. Honestly, I expect more out of that stat line. We'll give him another shot next year, but we'll see how it goes. Candelario was bad, and Pasquantino was bad. Pasquantino is a trade candidate. That is just atrocious for a first baseman. Candelario, we didn't have a better option at third base, so maybe a better option will show up this year in free agency. So, so that is a recap of what went on with the big team. From a minor league perspective, we talked about Estes, we talked about Gleason, we talked about Poisson. It's like croissant, except it's Poisson. Your Rubiel Angeles has spiked a little bit. He can't really play third base, but he's a potential backup infielder with those ratings. Anybody else? Pineda is getting a little better. Lawrence Butler's got some pop, but he's 23 in A-ball. Ramos, a little bit of power in the bat. Bitonti was our number 1 pick this year. 18 for 59. We'll see how his power develops, but if it does, a power you can't. Again, he's a third baseman. We should probably make that move now. Yeah, he moves up to 3.5 stars when you make him a third baseman, so that's nice. Jacob Joseph. Oh, he was I forgot about this guy. He needs to be up here because he's going to be on the big club next year. I forgot we drafted a 24-year-old. Deegan was our 2nd-round pick. Yep, he's our 2nd-round pick. He's developed nicely. He doesn't belong there. We will disable AI promotion, move him up to AA. These are things I should have done before, so I'm falling a little bit behind in the player development. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass, but yeah, so that's where we are. So let's go ahead and I'm going to sim through the postseason, and I will try to speed it up here. So I'll be back when the season ends. Have it. The Los Angeles Dodgers have swept the Minnesota Twins in the World Series 4-0 to take the 2023 World Series. So the Twins and the Blue Jays won the wild card in the American League, the Padres and the Nationals in the West. In the National League, Dodgers beat the Padres, Braves swept the Nationals, Blue Jays beat the White Sox, Twins swept the Astros, Twins beat the Blue Jays in 7, Dodgers beat the Braves in 6, and the Dodgers sweep the Twins 4-0. So it's the offseason, and we've got some stuff to do. So goals, He's worried. I don't know. He liked what we did here. We liked what I don't worry about that because I'm not going to lose my job. Team payroll of about $70 million. Ryan Gleason is the number 5 prospect in the game. Off season. So $70 million right now gives us not a whole lot. Okay, so we got to bump. I think we can bump that $1.50 this year. Let's bump that up to $22.50. So we don't really have a lot of money right now. I think that's because look at all these arbitration. Jeez. Okay. So let's start with the ones that we can get rid of. Feigl, I think we can get rid of. 1-7, 5.01 ERA is fine. Woodford, we can save $9.50 there. Calhoun, we can save 1.7 there. Not a lot. Kevin Smith, I think we might be done with. I mean, does anybody want him? Can we get somebody who's on a minor league deal? Just get depth. I mean, I'd prefer a prospect, but that's not likely to happen. And just Chad Cool. Nope. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and non-tender Mr. Smith. That's a lot of arbitration numbers, man. Okay. So Cole Irvin wants 1.3, and we're gonna save like. I didn't withdraw the guy. He wanted 1.3, so let's offer him 1.250. So we're gonna save anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 on every single one of these. He wants 1.7, so we can probably offer 1.625. Yeah, so we'll save a couple $100,000 this way. It won't be anything of real substance, but we will see. 1, 2. You wanted what? 1.2 million? Yeah, 1.2. So 1.150. And I may see once these guys sign these contracts. I may see I don't really want to sign Max Meyer to a long-term I don't think I want to sign any of these players really to a long, except for Pache. Pache, we may see about offering a long-term deal to. Literally all of our pitchers are asking for the same thing. So, I mean, we certainly are not spending a lot of money, and a lot of this has to do with the losing of a year of arbitration, right? Makes all the players eligible for ARB a year earlier than they would have been. So this is coming a year earlier than we would have. We're getting it all at once. We're basically getting 2 years of arbitration at once is essentially what's going on here. Yeah, so that's basically what's going on. So, it seems like a lot, but that's why. Anyway, let's get through the rest of these. Does anybody want Pasquantino? He had a bad year. I mean, I'd rather bring in somebody who is not ARB eligible, who's still making the minimum. Yeah, no. I mean, we'll offer him arbitration, and then we'll see what we can do once we get to free agency, because it doesn't look like we're going to have much money in free agency to do anything with. I mean, that may change when we get there, but we will see. Nick Allen didn't play at all. Have his ratings dropped? His ratings haven't dropped. He's still good defensively. I mean, we'll offer him an ARB number, and hopefully he comes back healthy. Nick Gordon, I mean, 1.1 WAR for 1.25 million. Yeah, I'll take that. And then I want to look at the 40-man to see if there's anywhere we can save a little bit of money there as well. Save $100,000. No, we weren't going to save $100,000. Save $75,000 on Taylor Trammell, And Christian Pache, $4 million. All right. Yep. And that's exactly what I was hoping. Now, I'm not comfortable giving him 8 years. We can do 6 years with the last two teams being last 2 years being team options. Would he be okay with something like that? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 14? He is. Perfect. 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 14. And the last 2 years are team options, which is absolutely fantastic. So, all right. So that is that. I don't think there are any. I don't think there's any other. We're not going to be able to afford any of these guys, even if we wanted them. Can't afford him. So let's go ahead and let's sim forward and see what we get. Guys, I'll be back when we get to the off season, and then we'll go back and we'll take a look at the awards. I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back. So we had one arbitration case. It was Adam Oler. He's going to make 1.2. He wanted 1.7. All of the players we offered contracts to agreed, which bumped our fan interest up to a 59. Our fan loyalty is still a poor, but it's better than, I guess, what it could be. We have $12 million in free agents right now, so I think we're going to leave scouting and development right where it is because I would like to see if we can use that money. Let's take a look at our 40-man. Can we free up any additional funds? Do we have anybody else that, yeah, literally everybody was, yeah, like Dalton Kelly. Like, we don't need, we can DFA Dalton Kelly. Barrera. We can probably DFA. I don't want to pay him the guaranteed money. Aiden McIntyre, Sam Mole, Kirby Sneed, we can DFA. Schumann, we can DFA. Buddy Reed, we can DFA. Like, these are all players that we can DFA, and the AI takes him, the AI takes him. If the AI doesn't take him, it frees up salary space for us to find a better option. Sam Mole didn't pitch well, but his ratings suggest, I mean, for 700, it's probably fine with him. Pimentel, 44 games, negative WAR pitcher. Man, we have so many pitchers. I mean, I can't imagine any of these guys are going to get claimed. Zach Logue can get DFA'd. Yeah, I don't need any of these players, and I don't think that any of them are going to get claimed. Mason Martin. -1 WAR. I think we can probably DFA. Although I would like to keep him just because he's a good hitter against righties, and that's assuming we can move past Quintino. So let's go ahead. So we should now have a little bit more. Yeah, we're up to $16 million now. So we cleared up $4 million nearly in additional free agent space for us. So let's get to free agency. So $22 million is what we currently have. We only have $4 million in extensions, but the hope is that number will increase as the attendance number goes up. The revenue per game goes up for next year. So let's see what we have. I'll start with internationals. See if there's a young player here that the AI hasn't already signed. Sometimes you get to this page before you even get a chance to talk to them. The AI has signed them. See? Here, Alex Gutierrez. Signed on the 22nd, signed today. Before we get a chance to talk to him, he signed with the Colorado Rockies. Man, I wish he wasn't 30. Wow, he can mash against righties. But I can't spend $7 million on him. So what do we got? We got Corbin Burns. His contract demand's only $18 million. I mean, if we can make that happen, we have to make that happen, right? And we just sort of deal with whatever's left. So we have 22 million, and he only wants $18 million. He wants a 5-year, $18 million contract. I mean, let's start at 16. I mean, I feel like I'm getting greedy here, but let's start with that. I mean, absolutely, 100%. Let's see if we can bring in Corbin Burns. All right. So that leaves us with almost nothing. So let's, I guess let's see if we can sign him. And then if we can sign him, we can go back and figure out what the other options are. Wow, McKinley Moore's really good. $4.7 million. Max Fried, 12-9. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer given what his contract demand is. So let's sim forward and see what sort of information we get. Nick Allen has to be brought off the... I guess Charles does too. So let's now see if we can trade Pasquantino. See if anybody wants him now that we're into free agency. Nope. Nobody wants him. Harold Castro. I mean, he could potentially replace Connor Falefa. Not quite as good, but... Tampa can't afford that. Can they give us cash? Yeah, they can't give us cash because they're going to be over budget. Right. Right. Okay. So let's sim forward and see if we can get Corbin Burns to a ridiculously cheap contract. Oh, no. This is just such a terrible time for this. So long term, this is a great idea to start a charity. But if we look at our front office and our accounting, it's going to show up under other miscellaneous. And it's going, I believe it's going to show up under other miscellaneous. And it's going to be a huge hit. But I think, if I remember correctly, and I saw this on Old School Sports. So, guys, if you enjoy my style of out-of-the-park baseball, you'll enjoy his. He does a very similar style playthrough to mine. Very entertaining, very knowledgeable dude. So go over there and check him out. That is Old School Sports. And he ran into this similar situation with his Royals playthrough. And it basically took all of his available money, but it gave him a fan interest bump, a huge fan interest bump, and a fan interest, a market size bump as well, I believe. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the charity. So now if we take a look at our front office and we look at our accounting, I guess it's not there. Where is it? It should show up there, but it is not. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about it then. I'm sure it will show up. Maybe it takes a couple of days, so we will sim ahead. Yeah, so Corbin Burns. We can bring in Corbin Burns into Oakland. He could put up some ridiculous numbers. My guess is we're going to get into a bidding war because that seems like an unreasonably cheap contract for Corbin Burns. Oh, still nothing. Cubs and Cardinals make a deal. Really? Houston and Boston. Cubs and Braves. Is it showing up there yet? Yeah, we have no money now. And it still doesn't show up on here. It's here somewhere. Ugh. Sorry. It's supposed to show up here. Oh, it's right there. Other miscellaneous, right there. $16 million. So it went from $648,148 to $16,648,148. We're up to a 69 fan interest and a below average fan loyalty now. So yeah, that kicked our fan interest up 10 points and it brought us from poor to below average. So hopefully, especially with the signing of Burns, that could kick our fan interest up into the mid-70s, and ticket prices should, or ticket revenue should, in theory, go through the roof. Now, it's going to limit what we can do. It means we're going to have to get creative with maybe the Rule 5, because we now have a ton of pitchers. So if we can sign Burns, we may turn around and try to trade some of these pitchers for some arms, because as you can see, we have very limited. Allen won't be available to start the season, so we don't have a shortstop. Our catching situation, we have a catcher, we have a first baseman, we have a second baseman, we don't have a shortstop. So, we don't have a lot of options I guess Angeles probably is that answer right now. Call him up, let him play second. Deegan, if he develops a little bit more during the offseason, he could be our starting third baseman. I mean, I just need the contact to improve a bit. If you can get the contact up to a 40 during the offseason, he's coming up next year. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see if Corbin Burns chooses to become a member of the Oakland A's at 5 years and $16 million. Thankfully, we got that trade offer in, or we got the signing in before they asked us to create a charity. We call up Huelvas to be our backup outfielder if we needed to. So we have some options. We need to generate a little more revenue before we can really start to get crazy with free agency and whatnot. So. Still no response. I thought we would at least get I got a better offer, or your interest is right in my your offer's right in my wheelhouse message, but so far nothing. It looks like Eduardo Rodriguez signed with the Rangers, Max Fried with one of the Chicago teams, Altuve with Houston, so still nothing. Still nothing. Salvador Perez traded to the Braves for Kyle Wright and Jerry Stone. Hunter Wood for Danny Watson. Pablo Lopez to the Cardinals. Fried with the Cubs. Rangers with Eduardo Rodriguez. Clint Frazier for Nelson Alvarez and Zach Eflin. Off-season center. Free agents. He favors our offer. So we already have money for extension. So that's a good sign. That is a very good sign. Man, I hope he signs with us. Coming off a torn rotator cuff, which isn't great, but he's been healthy. He's been healthy. So we're at the winter meeting. So now is the time. We've got so many pitchers. Now is the time, I think, to try to package one or more of these players. So Estes, Gleason, Luzardo, Meyer, I think are locks. Jeffries may have the most value with that 100 control. So what if we did something like this? Jeffries and Pasquantino. Jonathan Arauz, not really a shortstop. Decent enough bat, but not really a shortstop. That's not going to do what we wanted. The issue is cost. It's not showing me players that teams would give me because I can't afford them. So if we may have to find somebody who they can retain the entirety of a contract. So if we go here and then look at shortstops, got Ketel Marte, who's making a lot of money. We got Alfredo Tovar. I mean, he's good defensively. I mean, he's 32. I suppose he can hit enough. The issue is the lack of money, so they would have to retain, and they want Gleason. Shut up! Are you kidding? Cleveland. Okay, so there's the problem: is they're over budget as well. So I think the first thing we need to do is find a team maybe that's in win now mode that has some cash, which doesn't look like anybody. I need a shortstop. Even just a stopgap, like someone who can play shortstop for a year or two. You have a 19-year-old on your 40-man roster, really. You do you, my man. Wow, that's really the only option. You have a shortstop, too. That's not good if you're the Minnesota Twins. Do the Yankees have any money? Yankees have a little bit of money. Do they have a shortstop? Yeah, let's ask for Anthony Volpe. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, it's not going to help me. I need someone who's more ready now just to sort of get us through. Trey Sweeney's not a first baseman, or he's not a shortstop, rather. All right, we just need to go and see what happens with Burns, I think, first. Get to Burns, maybe get through the Rule 5, see if we can come up with a solution there, and then see what sorts of deals we can make after the Rule 5. Tyler Mahle signs a contract. Still nothing from Corbin Burns. Still nothing from Corbin Burns. Come on, Corbin. Mahle signs with Minnesota. All right, so when is the Rule 5? I guess we'll go up to Christmas Eve. The Rule 5 on Christmas Eve. Nothing like spending time with your family. So 76 and 86. We had a 7-game improvement over last year. And I think we've got some pieces in place. I'm excited about our pitching staff. With or without Burns, I'm excited about our pitching staff. But having Corbin Burns at the top means that we don't have to rely necessarily on those youngsters to be our ace. Still not. This is crazy that we haven't heard a single thing from Corbin Burns yet. And if we can sign Corbin Burns to a 5-year, $80 million contract, that seems absolutely bonkers. And we do. We signed Corbin Burns. Wow. 5-year, $80 million contract. We have our new ace, guys. Yeah. I mean, it's player option for that last year, but I can't imagine that he's not going to be worth that contract. Wow. Let's go. Corbin Burns, the new ace of the Oakland A's. Rule 5 eligible players. Anybody we got to put on the 40-man? Huelvas, we got to put on the 40-man. Mujica's not ready yet. I can't imagine anybody takes him. Weisenberger. I can't. We don't need another arm. We will put Huelvas. We will put Huelvas on the 40-man, though, because we may need him as a backup outfielder. All right, so let's... Wow, I cannot believe we just signed Corbin Burns to that contract. That's crazy. All right, so we are picking 10th. So let's pick until Oakland, and let's see what sorts of shortstop options we have. Yeah, he's not really a shortstop with those ratings. He's not a shortstop. He's not a shortstop. He's not a shortstop. He's not a shortstop. And he's not a shortstop. Okay. Bryce Terang. I mean, yeah, I could guess he could play shortstop. That's a little disappointing. Let's see what else is available. This looks like a light Rule 5, guys. Alexander Ramirez, no. I mean, I may take Xavier Edwards. We could take him, play him at second, and then have Nick Gordon as our shortstop. Good speed, good enough defense. The range is a little light, but error, arm, and D. Yeah, we're going to take Xavier Edwards from the Tampa Bay Rays. Ooh, Antonio Gomez. If Gomez is still around with our next pick, we're going to take him because you can never have too many good young catchers. And he is. Let's make sure there's Parker Meadows. That's a disappointment. Wow. Okay. Pinango is on here still. The eye hasn't developed. Franmil Reyes is now 28, but still has 90 power. Yeah, we'll take Gomez. And let's look at pitchers. Not that we need another pitcher. I mean, he's actually pretty good, but we don't need another pitcher. We're going to take him anyway because I'm not shy about using him as a trade piece. All right, so we will complete the draft. So we get 3 pieces. We get Xavier Edwards, we get Antonio Gomez, and Justin Brules. The Rockies took 4 players in the draft. Okay. All right, so we now have Gomez, Langelier, and Murphy as our starting as our catching threesome, if you will. So does that mean we're not moving Murphy? He signed long term and he's coming off a great year. Langelier is 26, hit 188. What could we get for Shea Langelier? Just out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity, what could we get for Langelier? Vlade has got an average bat, but is a captain. You get Jeter Downs from now the Seattle Mariners. Well, that's a little disappointing. So Burns, Laureano, Murphy, and Pache are the only ones making any sort of real money at all. Laureano, I gotta look. If we can get somebody who can give us 70, nobody is going to offer us a single deal, really. If we can get 75% of Laureano for, half the cost, yeah, it's a financial thing. Nobody has any money. Okay. Nobody has any money. That's odd. So what is our, what does our lineup look like right now? So right now we've got Edwards at second. Angeles is our backup. We don't have a third. I guess Angeles is our third baseman. Oh, man, this is a Bad lineup. Oh boy, that's a bad lineup. We need some bats, guys. We need some bats badly. I don't think we have any money still, right? No. But yeah, so with 7.1% ticket increase, we're up to 46% revenue per game bump. Fan interest is up to a 79 with the signing of Burns. Oh, God, but we have nothing from a hitting perspective. I just need a bat. I need any sort of infield bat that isn't a first baseman. Oof. Okay. I mean, can we give up Irvin? I have no more shops for today. All right. Nope, not Max Meyer. I don't really want to get... Oh, so Puck's down to 1.5 stars. That sucks. That injury sapped him, man. Okay. Same thing with Charles. Ugh. All right, so not trading. Would rather not trade. Brule. What about Brule and Irvin for an infielder? Not a single player in a single team is interested. Get Blaze Alexander to play third base. He's never played higher than AA, and he hit 210 in AA as a 24-year-old. What if we do veterans? Oh, boy. Our offense is going to be Jose Cermo. He was really, really good for Sioux City last season. Yeah. Those are pretty damn good numbers in independent ball. I'm a big indie ball guy. For those of you who don't know, I'm, I guess you could say, the backup play-by-play guy of the Chicago Dogs, which is in the same league as Sioux City. So I'll actually be on the air on the 13th for Dogs opening night. So looking forward to that. But yeah, he was really good in indie ball. It's on the trade block. We can do something that way. Xander Bogaerts, but he's making $17 million. I can't afford that. Eugenio Suarez making $11 million. I can't afford that. JD Davis. And if I can find someone who's making like $4 or $5 million and then get the AI to retain, like, could you retain on Yu Chang? See, the problem is they are over. They don't have any money either. So they want Xavier Edwards, which is the player we just got in the Rule 5. So that doesn't help us. That doesn't help us. What about Brule? I don't want to give you Pineda. He's one of the few offensively minded prospects I have. Lawrence Butler, because I've got a glut of first basemen. All right, let's just offer this. See if we can get them to take. All right. So, guys, I'm going to sim ahead now to the beginning. Actually, I'm going to sim ahead to the end of spring training. And we will, I'll go over any deals I made. And we'll set the rosters, and we will call it an episode. So I'll be back in just a moment. It is a couple of days before opening day. We are through spring training. And we made a couple of deals. Let me pull them up here. Or did we just make one? I think we may have just made one. Yeah, if we go back to December of 2023. Oh, okay, right. So right at the end of December, right after the Rule 5, I traded Justin Brule, who was one of the players that we picked up in the Rule 5, and Lawrence Butler for Yu Chang. So we get Yu Chang from Cleveland, gives us some flexibility. He's probably going to be our starting third baseman, honestly. We give up Lawrence Butler, who was stuck behind a glut at first base, and then Justin Brule. So we pick up Yu Chang. He's not great, but hit 27 home runs a couple years ago, so hopefully he can give us something similar to that while playing a halfway decent defense. And then in March of 2024, we made a larger deal, picking up some bats and some potential. So we sent Vinny Pasquantino, Darren DeJesus, Colin Palouse, and Jose Mujica to the Rockies, getting Beckway, Judd Fabian, and Alex Gutierrez. So Pasquantino, we move on from Vinny after a year and a half. Was really, really bad a year ago. So first base now is going to go over to Andrew Vaughn and our most recent free agent signing, which I'll show you in a minute. So Pasquantino, Mujica was one that was kind of tough to give up. A catcher with good eye, good discipline, pretty good defensively, 2.5 stars. But he's Rule 5 eligible, and I didn't feel like putting him on the 40-man. So we traded him. Colin Palouse is a two-star, 3-star potential, decent control, 3 decent pitches, but stuck in A-ball for the last couple of seasons. And Darren DeJesus, who's just a 1-star filler, I guess. They wanted to complete the deal. And in return, we pick up Beckway, who is a 24-year-old. He's listed as a starter right now in AAA. When he's a reliever, his stuff goes up into the 70s. So 3 good pitches, decent enough stamina. I don't know that he's truly a starter, but we'll see how it goes. We pick up Judd Fabian, who was the number 10 overall pick in the draft in 2022, excuse me, by the Rockies. Still has some growth, still has some potential. Very good defensively, good speed, but good power, potentially good home run power, decent eye. I don't know that he'll ever work out, but when you can get an opportunity to pick up the number 10 pick in the draft, I think that's something you need to take a shot at. And then Alex Gutierrez was that international catcher that was available, signed by the Rockies before we got an opportunity to do it. He's 22. He's signed to a similar contract to Mujica, meaning a minor league deal, except he has now 5 years of team control or 4 years of team control or whatever it is. So, yeah, so that is the deal we made there. None of them are going to be on the big league club this season. And then we brought Evan Longoria, Andrew McCutchen, and Daniel Vogelbach to the team. They're all captains and leaders and high work ethic and everything else. And frankly, we're going to be, what's the saying? We're the island of misfit toys when it comes to our lineup this year, but we will figure it out. So they're all 2 stars, except for Vogelbach, who's 3 stars. Vogelbach will split time with Vaughn. Longoria very likely could be our starting third baseman, and Kutch, we'll figure it out with Andrew McCutchen. So those are the deals we made. We went 10-15 with 3 ties. Offensively, we're going to be a mess this year. Hopefully our pitching staff is good enough to just hold it down. Burns, I'm obviously thrilled that we picked up Corbin Burns. Hopefully his ratings maintain. His stuff has dropped a little bit, but he is only 29, so I'm hopeful that we get at least 3 of the 5 years are successful out of him. So we have to cut down the roster and set our lineups, and we will call it an episode. So AJ Puck, unfortunately, his time is done. That's a damn shame. And then we got a whole lot of players who are basically the same, and we got two players that we have to send down. I think Josie could be really successful in Oakland. That movement isn't going to kill him in Oakland. So Adam Oler will go to AAA, and I guess Sam Mole will go to AAA. We have to DFA him. Or do we want to? No, I don't want to trade Meyer yet, so we will DFA Mole. That's fine. All right, so our rotation. So it's going to be Burns, then Gleason, then Jeffries, then Luzardo, then Estes. I mean, Meyer was really good during the preseason. I mean, 6 starters is... I don't want to go 6 starters. Maybe we put Meyer in the bullpen. If we put Meyer in the bullpen... Okay, stuff goes to a 67. Goleman can be... I think we make Goleman our stopper. 7th or closer. We will make Meyer our closer. 8th or later and high leverage. So we'll have Goleman, Meyer, and Ginn as sort of our 3 main go-to guys. Use more often. High leverage. Josie will be long relief, emergency starter. Irvin will be a specialist slash long relief. Gunnar Hoagland will just be middle relief. So we're going to run with Goleman as our stopper, Meyer as our closer, JT Ginn. So those are our 3 main bullpen arms. We'll run Burns, Gleason, Jeffries, Luzardo, and Estes. And then in the lineup, this is terrible. How many players do we have to send down? We got to send down 3. So, Gomez was a Rule 5, and he looks okay. I think I'd rather just get rid of him, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather just move him. Manuel Urias, pick up a 23-year-old pitcher. I don't really need a pitcher. Let's see. Wow, so if you go to all players, it gets rid of the one decent pitcher. So what if we add in regulars? That's interesting. Okay, so let's go back. I guess let's just look at prospect pitchers. Segovia, extreme fly ball, decent enough stuff, 3 good pitches, sure. It's not a trade you would do. Okay. Well, good thing it's not your decision then. Can I get them to add anything to this? Jordan VRs. I like Jordan VRs. Would you give me Jordan VRs? It's a very bad deal for you. I wouldn't say it's a very bad deal. Harold Grant is interesting. No, you don't like that either. Looking for ideally a bat, but screw it. I don't care. This is good. Gomez for Segovia is fine. That is fine. We got enough catching depth that we can make it work. So we still got to send 2 more players to the minors. So Barrera can go. He's going to have to be DFA'd. We got to send 1 more down. So I think it's got to be Angeles right now, or Angeles right now. We'll let him get some time in AAA, and we will lean on the veterans that we have called up. So there's our 26-man roster. Or it's 27. I got to still send 1 more player down. Shoot. It's got to be Buelvas. And we'll run with McCutcheon, Trammell, Pache, and Laureano as our outfield. Okay, that's fine. So we have 13 pitchers, 13 batters. We now have to set the lineup, and then we will play opening day. God, our lineup is so bad. Clear all lineups. All right, so who's going to be our leadoff hitter? I kind of like the idea of Vogelbach batting leadoff. That just seems fun against righties anyway. Yeah. Why the hell not? Daniel Vogelbach will bat leadoff. And how is he defensively? He's not good. So he'll be our DH, and he will bat leadoff. Our number 2 hitter will be Xavier Edwards, and he'll play second. Our number 3 hitter will be Laureano. He will play right. Our number 4 hitter will be Vaughn. He will play first. So that means Mason Martin. Oh, I kind of would like to get Mason Martin out there somehow. But I think we're going to run with Vogelbach, and we'll let Mason be our main pinch hitter for right now. All right, so I guess Murphy in the 5-hole. Pache 7th. So we're missing left, 3rd, and short. Trammell will play left. 28. Yeah, Kutch can still hit lefties, though, so that'll be good. Then we get Chang and Gordon. So that is just an awful lineup. But it may run into a few home runs. I don't know. I mean, there's some players with some good batting eyes there. So against lefties now, we're going to have almost a completely different lineup against lefties. So against lefties, we're going to have McCutchen lead off. Laureano will bat 3rd. So a lot of this is going to stay the same. Vaughn will bat 4th. Murphy will bat 5th. Who's going to be our number 2 hitter against lefties? I guess it's not going to change a whole lot. So it's going to be McCutchen, Edwards, Laureano, Vaughn, Murphy. Pache in the 6th hole playing center. Chang. Do we play? Can Chang play shortstop? No, he can't. I was going to say we could play him at shortstop and then get Longoria some time against lefties, but that's not going to work. So we'll go Gordon, and then Trammell will bat last against lefties. So that is our lineup against lefties. We don't have a backup center fielder. Yeah. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And we'll just run with this, and we'll just back up Trammell. We'll put Trammell in center field. So our lineup's terrible. Let's get to opening day and see if there's anything on the waiver wire. So, I don't know what to make of this season. Given that it's Oakland and our pitching staff appears to be really, really good, I feel like we could make some noise. I don't know. So we have the number 7 prospect in baseball in Gleason. He's up to 3.5-star, 5-star. Yeah, I don't know that we're going to compete, or be, I don't want to say be competitive, but battle for, playoffs or whatever. But our pitching staff is really good. Our pitching staff is really, really good. All right, so what do we have? Tupacita Marcao. Okay. 2nd, 3rd, and short. I mean, he could be if we pick him up, we could move on from Longoria. Quino can't play center. Is there a center fielder on this list anywhere? Jake Fraley all the way down here. No, I don't want Jake Fraley. I think we claim... Wow, both of these guys are pretty good. But I think we claim Marcano. And then let's just quickly look at pitchers. Sometimes you can find some decent pitchers. Yeah, there's just a whole lot of nothing. Braylon Marquez isn't really nothing. I mean, great stuff, great movement. The control's iffy. I mean, he's a starter. We're going to claim him. And we're going to get to opening day here against the Houston Astros. So let's jump in and play the game. The game cannot be scheduled because I have a spring training invitee still on the roster. We got to put him on the roster. We got to put Longoria on the roster. And we got to put Vogelbach on the roster. I think that's it. Yep. We only have 31 players on our 40-man roster. We're just biding our time for Liam Deegan. Just biding our time. He will be our starting third baseman sooner rather than later. We're just that contact's up to a 32. As soon as it hits about a 40, he will be he'll be on the big league roster and starting at third base for us. Poisson still has some time. Next year sometime maybe he'll be up, unless the numbers spike this season. And then Judd Fabian and Alex Gutierrez, who knows? Who knows when they will be up, if at all. But Fabian could be a replacement for Laureano or even Trammell, really. He gives us that righty bat, which we're kind of lefty heavy. So, yeah. So there is, there are some play. Oh, I forgot about Johan Camargo. I got to put him on the injured list. So we have Kenny Gomez. We picked him up in a deal last year. He's developing nicely. Wow. Okay. So let's disable his promotion. Let's send him to A-ball. Hopefully that contact doesn't kill him. But yeah, we have some players who are developing. It's slow going, but our pitching staff looks pretty sharp. So let's get to this game against the Astros and see if we can go to 1-0 this season. All right, so we're starting McCutchen, Edwards, Laureano, Vaughn, Murphy, Pesce, Chang, and Gordon with Burns on the mound. They've got Jake Myers, Bregman, Alvarez, Tucker, Altuve, Santander, Taylor Jones, Jeremy Pena, Christian Vazquez, and James Paxton is getting the start for Houston on opening day. Interesting. Okay. So we'll see how this new look A's lineup does against James Paxton, as Andrew McCutchen will bat leadoff. Kutch with a ground ball to the shortstop, and an infield single for Andrew McCutchen, getting things going. Xavier Edwards now. He strikes out. That brings up Laureano. Ground ball to short, and they get a fielder's choice. So Vaughn now 2 outs, 1 on. And he pops out on the infield. So we get a leadoff infield single, but nothing doing. And Corbin Burns will come to the mound for the Oakland A's, and he will face Jake Myers, a pull hitter. 0-2 pitch from Burns to Myers is a strikeout. Bregman is an extreme pull hitter. 3-1 to Bregman. It's ball 4. Yordan Alvarez is a pull hitter, but I want to put the infield in double play depth. Pop up to the left side. Catch is going to be made over there. 2 away. And Kyle Tucker is a pull hitter, so we will shift to the right. It's going to be a 2-out single, so a walk and a single here in the first off of Burns. And that brings up Altuve. Altuve grounds it to Chang, and that retires the side. So they get a hit and a walk, but don't score. Murphy will lead off the second with a single to center. So leadoff single for our catcher. Christian Pache steps in now. Hits that one to right. So we get back-to-back singles to start the second. Murphy goes over to third, so runners at the corners with nobody out, and Chang steps up. Grounds it to second. It's going to be an E4. The run's going to score. We have 2 on, nobody out. Nick Gordon is going to lay down the sack bunt. Well done by Nick Gordon. And he's safe. He beats it out. So bases loaded, nobody out for Trammell. Taylor strikes out. Top of the order, and McCutchen. And Kutch hits into a fielder's choice, but the run scores. So professional at bat from Andrew McCutchen. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for Edwards. And he strikes out. So we pick up 2, and we are up 2-0. Anthony Santander. Hard shift right. Pitch to Santander. He's a lefty. Okay. Got away with that one. Taylor Jones is a pull hitter. Shift left. 3-2 pitch to him. Ball 4, so a 1-out walk. Brings up Pena. Ground ball to third, and we aren't able to turn the double play. That's fine. Vazquez now 2-2 to him. He pops out to center, or out to right. So 2 shutout innings from Burns. Bring up Laureano to lead off the third. Ground out to the pitcher, 1 away. Andrew Vaughn. Grounds to short, 2 away. And Murphy. So we go down 1, 2, 3 in the third. And then go back up to the top of the order. 2-2 pitch to Myers. He strikes out. Bregman. Hard shift to the left. 3-2 pitch to Bregman. He strikes out. And Alvarez is a pull hitter, so we will shift right. 3-0 pitch to him. He walks him, so it's the third walk of the game. Yeah, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks for Burns. Kyle Tucker, shift to the right. Strike 3. So 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. He's throwing a lot of pitches, which isn't great. We may actually need to get somebody up next inning, which I'm not really thrilled about. But Pache singled his last time up and grounds out to short here. Chang reached on an error. He strikes out. And Gordon strikes out. So Paxton strikes out the side. Yeah, you can see Burns' stamina is about halfway. Altuve is up. And we will hard shift left. Looks like we're going to get a leadoff walk here. We are. Santander's an extreme pull, so we're going to hard, did that again, hard shift to the right. Ground ball into the shift, and we turn the double play. Let's go. All right, Taylor Jones, shift left, 2-1 pitch. Ground ball to second, and we get out of the inning. So 4 innings of 1-hit ball for Corbin Burns so far. Taylor Trammell against Paxton. Hits that one to left. Catch is going to be made down the line. 1 out. McCutchen now. 1 for 2. Draws a walk. Edwards grounds into a fielder's choice. And Laureano strikes out. We go to the 5th now. They're sending up Pena, Vasquez in the top of the order. 0-2 pitch to Pena. Strike 3. Vasquez, 0-1 to Christian. Grounded to third. Chang over to first. 2 away. Jake Myers swings the first pitch, flies out to right. So 5 innings of 1-hit ball from Corbin Burns. Andrew Vaughn leads off. Grounds out to short. Murphy. He walks. Pache strikes out. And Chang against a new pitcher now. We ground out to second. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. I think this we should probably get somebody up just to be safe. So we're going to go get Max Meyer up. So we got Bregman. It's a hard shift left. 2-2 pitch to Bregman. Strike 3. Jordan Alvarez. He's extreme pull. He's just a pull. So we will shift right. 3-2 pitch to him is in the dirt. Kyle Tucker, hard shift to the right. 0-2 pitch to Tucker is going to be a single to center. So we should visit the mound. He's good for another hitter or 2 at least. We got Altuve coming up. I think we are going to call it here with Burns, 5 1/3 innings, 86 pitches. We bring in Max Meyer. He is an extreme pulse. We will hard shift left. 2-2 pitch to Altuve. Meyer blows him away. And Santander now. Hard shift right. It's going to get down for a hit. So it looks like Houston's going to pick up their first run of the game. It's 2-1 now. Taylor Jones. Let's get out of this. Nope. We are now losing. Damn. Meyer finally gets out of the inning after giving up a single and a double. So he's on the hook now, actually. So Josh Taylor is the new pitcher. I don't really have anybody that I can pinch hit for right now. Gordon's 1 for 2. He gets a leadoff single here. Okay, so Trammell grounds into a double play. And back to the top of the order in McCutchen. And he strikes out. That sucks. Infield single for the catcher, because of course. That one's popped up to the catcher. One out. Bregman. Ground ball in the infield, and we turn the double play. We got to get another pitcher up. Danny Jimenez. We got 2, 3, 4 up here in the 8th. There's a leadoff walk by Edwards. Here comes Laureano. It's hit by a pitch. So 2 on, nobody out here in the 8th for Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn grounds into a double play. So runner at third, 2 outs for Sean Murphy against Sonny Gray. And he strikes out. It's okay. It's what I expected was going to happen with this team. We are just not good with the bat. Hard shift to the right against Alvarez. 2-1 pitch. Grounds it into the shift. 1 out. Tucker. Grounds it to second. 2 away. And Altuve. 1-1 pitch to Altuve is grounded to short. So there is the bottom of the 8th. So we go to the 9th with 6, 7, and 8 against Aroldis Chapman. Let's see what Pache can do here in the 9th. He's hit by a pitch. Chang is up now. 1-2 pitch to you. That's called strike 3. We are going to pinch hit Shea Langelier for Nick Gordon, and we will figure out the 9th if we get to the 9th. 1-0 pitch to Langelier is a double play. So we lose opening day 3-2. It's a little disappointing. Meyer gets the blown save and the loss. Burns walked too many on opening day, walked 5, struck out 6. If he hadn't walked so many, he probably would have been able to work out of that jam. Paxton strikes out 8 and 5 2/3. So we lose on opening day. And that is going to do it for this episode, guys. So when we come back, it'll be May 1st. We will do May, June, July, or May, June, and July, and or April, May, and June, rather. Excuse me, April, May, and June. And that will do it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you think we did this offseason. If I put too many eggs in that pitching basket, I'm hopeful that some of our young players can come up and contribute this year, specifically our young bats, but we will see. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. I truly appreciate the support. I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.